The enigma of aging. Human beings have always been fascinated by the idea of stopping time. From alchemists searching for the philosopher's stone to modern scientists studying longevity genes, there is something common to all of us: the desire to live longer and better. But what if we told you that in an ancient Buddhist story, there are teachings that go far beyond science? We are not just talking about living longer, but about living with fullness, vitality, and a youthful appearance. Imagine reaching the age of 70 with the body and vigor of someone who is 25. Does it seem impossible? This idea is at the heart of the life philosophy of a Buddhist sage who, centuries ago, revealed the 6 essential rules for stopping aging. In this first part, we will explore the beginning of this story and the first rule. Get ready to immerse yourself in a story that transcends time. The encounter with the sage. The story begins in a small village, at the foot of a mountain in Tibet. The villagers believed that a monk who lived at the top of the mountain was immortal. He seemed to never age, even after decades. Curious visitors, young and old, would climb to see him and often return transformed. One such visitor was a young man named Arun, who was deeply dissatisfied with his tired appearance and failing health at only 30 years old. Arriving at the top, Arun found the sage sitting in the lotus position, surrounded by an almost palpable calm. Before the young man could speak, the monk opened his eyes and said, "You wish to stop aging. But know that it is not time that ages a man, but the weight he carries." Arun, surprised, asked what he should do. The monk smiled and began to share his 6 rules. He explained that each of them was a simple but powerful practice that completely changed the way the body, mind, and spirit connected. The mind is the gate of time. The sage began. The first rule is to understand that the mind is the true gate of time. Negative thoughts and worries are like stones that age your soul. When you learn to master your mind, your body responds with vitality. He taught Arun a meditation technique called breath of eternity. This practice consisted of inhaling deeply, holding the breath while visualizing a young, healthy body, and then exhaling slowly, imagining all the fatigue and toxins leaving the body. Practice this daily, the monk said, and you will see your face light up like the dawn. Upon hearing this, Arun committed to meditating daily. At first, it was difficult. But over time, he noticed that his skin became brighter, his gaze became firmer, and his aches and pains diminished. He began to believe that aging, first and foremost, began in the mind. Aging and the power of perception. The monk's story teaches us that we often believe that aging is inevitable because we have come to terms with this idea. But is youth no longer linked to the way we perceive the world? Modern studies confirm that chronic stress and negative thoughts accelerate aging. On the other hand, cultivating inner peace can reverse many signs of aging. Therefore, the first rule is not just spiritual advice, it is also an invitation to free ourselves from the pressures that wear us down. Vital energy and the body as a temple. In the previous section, we learned about the power of the mind as the gateway to eternal youth. Now, we will move on to the second and third rules, which deal with the body and vital energy. According to the Buddhist sage, these are fundamental pillars for transforming not only your appearance, but also your health and vigor. Arun, after mastering the breath of eternity technique, returned to the monk and asked, "And now, what else do I need to do to look as young and strong as you?" The monk smiled again and said, "Now, you must learn to care for your body, as if it were a temple, and preserve your vital energy, as the most precious treasure." The body as a temple. The sage explained that the second rule was to honor the body as a temple. Your body is the vehicle that will carry you into the future. But too often, you treat it like a garbage dump. That's why it wears out. He then introduced the 3 fundamental elements of caring for the body: food, movement, and rest. Food. Eat living foods to live. Avoid processed, dead, or toxin-laden foods. He taught Arun to include more fruits, raw vegetables, and herbal teas in his diet. The monk also spoke about the power of intermittent fasting to regenerate cells and rejuvenate the body. Movement. The body was made for movement, not stagnation. The sage recommended that Arun practice a daily sequence of simple postures inspired by yoga and tai chi, which increased flexibility and improved circulation. Rest. Sleep is when the body heals and is reborn. If you don't sleep well, you're sabotaging your youth. He explained the importance of creating a sleep routine, going to bed early and waking up at dawn. He also suggested techniques for relaxing before bed, such as listening to nature sounds and avoiding artificial lights. After implementing these changes, Arun began to notice incredible transformations. His energy increased, his skin became healthier, and he felt that his body was lighter and more agile. Preserving life energy. The third rule taught by the sage was about protecting life energy, or prana, as he called it. Life energy is the essence of life. Every time you waste it, you grow a little older. The monk explained that life energy is lost in three main ways. Excessive words. Talking too much tires the soul. Learn to speak only as much as necessary, and see how your energy will be preserved. He encouraged Arun to practice moments of silence, a habit that not only increased his energy, but also cleared his mind. Emotional stress. Anger, envy, and resentment drain your energy like a leaky bucket. To deal with these emotions, the monk taught Arun the practice of forgiveness and gratitude. He said that by forgiving others, you release an invisible burden that consumes your youth. Life without purpose. Living without purpose is like rowing without a destination. You waste energy without getting anywhere. He encouraged Arun to discover his life purpose and devote his energy to the things that truly mattered. With these practices, Arun felt an inner rebirth. He began to save his energy for what was meaningful, and this was reflected in his appearance. His eyes sparkled more, his posture was confident, and he radiated vitality. The science behind the rules. Although these rules are part of an ancient Buddhist philosophy, modern science has a lot to say about them. Studies show that diets based on natural foods help combat cellular aging. Regular exercise keeps muscles and bones young, while quality sleep helps produce rejuvenating hormones like HGH. In addition, practices like meditation and stress management reduce levels of cortisol, the stress hormone that accelerates aging. These practices may seem simple, but they have profound effects on both appearance and longevity. By applying the second and third rules, Arun felt reborn. His body and mind began to work in harmony, and he understood that the secret to youth lies not in expensive products or treatments, but in the way we live and take care of ourselves. In the next part, we will dive into the last three rules: spiritual connection, the power of simplicity, and the final secret to making youth a permanent state. Get ready for more life-changing wisdom. The spiritual connection and the secret of eternal youth. After his physical and mental transformation, Arun was increasingly fascinated by the wise man's words. However, he knew there was still more to be learned. The monk, sensing his curiosity, smiled and said, "Now that you understand the body and mind, the most important part is missing, the connection with the spirit. Only when you achieve balance between body, mind and spirit will you be able to experience true eternal youth." With these words, Arun was ready to learn the last three rules that would complete the cycle of vitality. Buddhist wisdom knew that aging is not only a physical process, but also a spiritual one. Through connection with something greater, the soul could renew itself, restoring youth from the inside out. Spiritual connection with the infinite. The fourth rule revealed by the monk was the importance of spiritual connection. True youth does not come from the body or the mind, but from the soul. When your soul is in harmony with the universe, you reach a state of purity that preserves your youth. The sage explained that by recognizing the connection with the divine, the human being aligns with the flow of universal energy. He suggested that Arun practice the oneness with the universe meditation, where he saw himself as part of something much greater. The meditation involved closing his eyes and feeling part of all creation, from the ground beneath his feet to the stars in the sky. This practice, according to the monk, helped to release any sense of separation, one of the biggest causes of emotional aging. By feeling part of the whole, Arun felt a deep calm and a sense of eternity within himself. Anxiety, fear, and the desire to control everything began to disappear. He felt truly at peace. The power of simplicity. The fifth rule, taught with great wisdom, was about the power of simplicity. The monk said, "Life is made up of simple moments, and it is these that keep us young. The desire for excess and complications only adds to the burden of aging." The sage suggested that Arun abandon the distractions of the modern world, such as material concerns and the relentless pursuit of status. Instead, he should focus on the simple, essential things: his breath, a smile, the sound of the wind in the trees, a moment of silence. He taught that simplicity was not a sign of a lack of ambition, but of a deep understanding of what truly matters in life. With each passing day, Arun began to let go of worries about the future and regrets about the past. He learned to savor each moment, to marvel at the beauty in the little things, and to find pleasure in the simple act of being alive. The ultimate secret to transforming youth. Finally, the monk revealed the last and most powerful rule. The ultimate secret to stopping aging is to live with a heart full of gratitude and love. Love is the key to eternal youth, for it nourishes the soul and regenerates the body. He explained that unconditional love, both for oneself and for others, is an inexhaustible source of energy. When you truly love, it doesn't matter how old you are. Love does not age, and the one who cultivates it remains young, for it is the life force that feeds the entire being. Practice gratitude every day. Be thankful for your health, for your friends, for the nature around you. And most importantly, love yourself, with all your imperfections. Self-love is the foundation of eternal youth. With this last lesson, Arun felt a growing warmth in his heart. He understood that youth was not something to be achieved, but something that should be cultivated and nurtured within. He felt renewed, not only physically, but spiritually. Arun's journey and the wisdom of the 6 rules. With the Buddhist monk's 6 rules, Arun transformed his life. He not only stopped aging, but began to live with a vitality and inner peace that previously seemed impossible. By incorporating these rules into his daily life, he discovered that true youth is not something that fades with time, but rather something that is cultivated with wisdom and love. What the monk taught him was simple yet profound. Youth is not about appearances, but about how we connect with our body, mind, and spirit. He understood that by living with intention, gratitude, and love, he could stay young forever, no matter how old he was. Now you also know the 6 rules for stopping aging, based on profound and timeless teachings. No matter where you are in life, it is never too late to start applying these practices and discover a new youthfulness, one that comes from within. By taking care of your mind, body and soul, you can transform your life and experience the vitality you thought you had lost forever. Like Arun, you can live a long, healthy and peaceful life. Always remember, true youth comes from the heart. May your journey be filled with wisdom, love and gratitude.